of this great Commonwealth. I'm determined to win, determined to make Governor Corbett a one-term governor. And I know this state. I've been down coal mines. I've been on roofs where solar is going up. I've been in our schools. I've other important colleges around this region that have also had huge cuts. And the governor has literally proposed 50% plus cuts. I mean, they're just irresponsible, destructive cuts. There's nothing that you can do that is more harmful to our economy today than to attack education. And of course, it cripples us for tomorrow. There isn't unlimited money. Choices do have to be made. But this governor has put education funding at the bottom of the pile. I'll put it at the top. And I will tell you, we're going to have an economic development policy that builds on all of our strengths in education, medicine, transportation, agriculture, and all of our energy resources, not simply natural gas. Obviously, natural gas is here. It's going to be produced. It has produced jobs. And it will continue to produce jobs. It also should be reasonably taxed, which it is not being done right now. And some of that money should go certainly to the communities where the drilling is taking place, but also to the environment and to education. So we're going to have a broad-based economic development strategy that doesn't put all our eggs in the natural gas basket. Pennsylvanians, as though they want to have a serious conversation, because that's been my experience.
What will your policy be on the water well pollution from the Marcellus Shale and the current situation with the DEP not fully revealing results of tests?
Yeah, can you elaborate on your thoughts on that very issue, the 8 of 24 contaminants being...
Yeah, look, I'm glad to talk about that. Look, Marcellus gas drilling is industrial activity, and it must be strongly regulated, and gas production should be reasonably taxed. You have to start there. And I have a record of strongly enforcing our rules. I first, when I became Secretary of the Department of Environmental Protection, set about modernizing and strengthening those rules. I became Secretary in 2008. When I walked through the door, the Marcellus gas boom was well underway. And I found our rules were not up to snuff. And we passed 5 separate rulemakings. What I want to do as governor is actually open an office, an ombudsman's office, to receive complaints about gas drilling, so that anybody who has a concern will have a place dedicated in state government to thoroughly look at those concerns and to investigate them and to figure out what happened in the case. We need that to ensure that those concerns are brought to some kind of full result. On the question of the tests, I mean, my view is that the department is testing does a basic screen for 24 substances. They do that no matter why the sample was taken. It goes into the DEP laboratory, which is a very good laboratory, and whether it's for a mining investigation or a gas drilling investigation or some other purpose, they test for 24 substances, and they do that every time. I personally believe at this point, just release all 24 substances, the results of all 24 substances, even if some of those are perhaps not relevant to a gas drilling investigation. But in this day and age, if you don't release all the information, even if you have the best of intentions, folks are going to presume, at least some folks will presume or assume, that there's not the best of intentions at work. So I believe in transparency with explanation. If Pennsylvanians want to get rid of Tom Corbett, they need to open their checkbooks a little bit. Now, some Pennsylvanians can afford maybe $10, others $100, and there are some, believe it or not, who can afford much, much, much more than that. And I'm going to need contributions from Pennsylvanians, no matter the size. And the website's a great way to do it, but we need events out here in this region to raise money. I need to be in people's homes. We need to put on some larger events as well, and we're going to be working hard at that. In 2013, I'm going to be on the phone asking people for money, and you have to do that to be a serious candidate. Many of our biggest environmental problems have an energy root to them, and getting more clean energy like solar, like wind, energy efficiency into the economy is good for the environment. So, you know, in our leadership, that's what we were doing. Under Governor Corbett's leadership, he's either neglecting every single energy source other than natural gas, or he's actively hostile. You know, amazingly enough, every other state with major natural gas production has a gas drilling tax. Every single other state. Texas, not known as an anti-gas state, has a drilling tax and a property tax on gas. Governor Perry, not known as a liberal or a moderate even, an extremely conservative governor, taxes energy. Governor Jindal in Louisiana, another Republican conservative. Governor Palin, don't get much more conservative than Governor Palin, had a major oil and gas tax when she was governor. In fact, she raised it. She raised it. Don't tell Grover Norquist that Governor Palin raised an energy tax, but you know she did. You know, and the next thing that's really important to understand is that the Marcellus shale gas is a tremendous resource, not only because there's a lot of gas, but it's very low cost to produce and the most profitable shale gas in the United States. Now that's not John Hanger saying that. That's Standard & Poor's that just came out with a report saying that the Marcellus shale gas is the highest profit, lowest cost shale gas to produce in the United States. If there's any shale gas in the United States that can have a reasonable tax placed on it, it's the shale gas right here, right here. But look, I believe in the wind production tax credit. I believe in the solar tax credit. I believe government has an important role in bringing employment to Pennsylvania. Whether people like it or not, you have to have incentives to compete for capital. And I understand what's going on there, and I do support our aggressive efforts, and they're clearly aggressive, to in fact bring those jobs here. But what's different about me is while I support that, I do support the other initiatives like wind and solar. And Governor Corbett has in fact refused to invest much less in these other initiatives like the wind production tax credit. The last point, it's a broader point. My economic development strategy is a broad economic development strategy. It doesn't rely on gas alone. I understand what gas can do, and it can do some good things for the state in terms of jobs and lease income and royalty payments. Those are good things for many families. I understand that. But I also know it's not going to be the answer to every Pennsylvanian's or even most Pennsylvanians' economic problems. I do believe that we need more education for the broad public about energy and about solar in particular. And perhaps the schools can play a role in doing that. But let's remember what's happened to our public schools in the first 2 years of this administration. They've lost 19,000 education jobs. Class sizes are up. Tutoring programs have been canceled. And school taxes in many communities have gone up, often a great deal. So in many communities, they're paying more in school tax and getting less education services. They're paying more and getting less. What I am committed to is making funding for education the top priority within the state budget process. And I'm also committed to, as part of that prioritization, reversing the $1 billion of cuts that this governor made to our public schools and universities. And I think that I'm going to stop with this and let everybody go. But fundamentally, this campaign is about education, it's about the economy, it's about energy, and it's about environment. So with your help and help of people in Pittsburgh, we can indeed make Tom Corbett a one-term governor. And when I am elected, this is a promise that I'm making to every Pennsylvanian. I will be a governor for all Pennsylvanians, every single one of us. This is about the 100%. It's about all of us. It's about the Commonwealth.